Okay. It's rolling.
Oh, we're rolling.
Should I?
While you eat Cheetos.
No.
Well, this will definitely be edited out.
I know, but
it'll be great on the scrap.
No, but I hate that. When I'm doing that.
You did that during one
I did.
first, which was
It
great.
was at the end of the Genesee.
It was
chewing on beef jerky.
We'll tell her that when we meet her. So, Janice, at the end of that, I was chewing on beef jerky.
My apologies. I, really didn't mean to be such a Neanderthal.
Okay. Hey, welcome back to Mark and Bliss's Super 70s. We're doing an episode show devoted to people we have lost from the 70s at the beginning of this year. We've talked about Natalie Cole. We've talked about Maurice White of Earth, Wind & Fire, which brings us to the third artist that we lost this year. And speaking of Glenn Frey of the Eagles.
Of
Glenn Frey, we are confronted, Bliss and I, with a puzzlement.
The Eagles, in the way that they are revered at this late date, a question that we would pose, right? Because any other, you talk Beatles, Stones, Who, Pink Floyd, Zeppelin,
Dylan,
even the Grateful Dead, great albums, right? You can start an argument in 5 seconds with music geeks like us by talking about what are their greatest albums.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the question is, what are the Eagles' greatest albums?
Oh, this is easy. I mean, first, you got Hotel California. I mean, come on, that's a great album. Hotel California. And the other great Eagles albums are
there's your problem. Near as we can tell, this would be the only other true qualifier.
Second greatest selling album of all time, behind only Thriller.
Yeah.
It's a greatest hits album.
It's a greatest hits album.
Do greatest hits albums count when you're talking about greatest albums of all time for a rock and roll band?
Hard to say. That is your aesthetic point. That's the crux of the problem. Is that winnowed down to a greatest hits, they are super enjoyable. Right?
Yeah.
I got no problem. But what it is a condensation of like 4 albums. And I have to say that I agree with the public's judgment in the fact that they were not a great album band.
Sacrilege. The Eagles were
sacrilege. Yeah.
The Eagles were not a great album band.
Yeah.
And to try to check on this, doing our research, Bliss and I dug out all of the old Eagles studio albums.
You can get the box set for like $35 from Amazon.
And son of a gun, if it didn't confirm our hypothesis, now think about this. The very first song off the very first Eagles album is a song that, any band would want to kick off their musical introduction to anyone else, because it kicks off with Take It Easy, the Jackson Browne, Glenn Frey, Take It Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, great album kickoff, So imagine you were never heard of the Eagles. You bought the album when it came out. You put this on. I mean, after the first song, you'd be thinking, oh, wow, man, I dig this. It's a good rock and roll band. You keep going through the album, though, and it doesn't really take you that long to realize, it's 2 or 3 really good songs on there. But the rest is just like unbeloved filler.
Except for the most diehard fans.
Yeah.
And the first album I bought of theirs was One of These Nights. And
probably the first album a lot of Eagles fans bought.
You go back, that's probably true. We'd heard Already Gone, Wishy Woman, and others on the radio. But for instance, there's a Bluegrass Fantasia at the end of side 1. That's all I can call it. I can't even remember.
That's all Bernie Ledden.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. The first couple times you hear it, it certainly intrigued me at the time. But you listen to it now, and it sounds like, well, Poco had been doing that stuff for 5 years and they couldn't sell it to a mass audience. And it just seems extraneous. To use a Chris Gal phrase, it sounds pleasant and otiose.
Ups and downs through the album. The last song of the album is great to kick off as Take It Easy. Is the last song of the album is the title of the song is Tryin'.
Yeah.
Is the name of it. And I say, okay, so haven't decided yet if they're going to be country rock.
I'm trying to take it easy.
Oh, maybe. You know, a band that hadn't decided fully or it hasn't really gelled yet what direction they wanted to go.
I am not sure that until Hotel California that they ever did quite gel as a band. There's a problem of definition seems to plague their work. This is on the back of the CD reissue of The Long Run, and here is how they're hyping the album. From a retrospective point of view, from their debut album through The Long Run, the Eagles became enormously successful by creating a new kind of commentary on American cultural life in the 1970s. That is wrong. They did that on one album and one album only, and it wasn't The Long Run. Okay, and it wasn't the albums before Hotel California. The One Shot to Glory, and it was worthy, right? There are songs on there like Victim of Love, which is a great little FM rock song that never gets played, and it is pretty damn consistent all the way through. It deserves its status.
Well, there was one thing I wanted to say, something that may perhaps explain their huge popularity. They really seem to only become iconic American rock and roll band really within the last 20 years, I would say, which was long past their heyday.
Yeah,
a very general Walmart-y Americana that people picked up on in a nostalgic way.
Do the line.
The line from Take It Easy, from the very first song. Okay.
Sorry.
We may lose or we may win, but we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. Take it easy. YOLO. It's the YOLO ethos.
There will never be a generation of young people who don't buy that slogan for at least a time.
The Eagles. Yeah. The Eagles. I mean, the only thing on the album cover was some plant life of the desert and an eagle.
Right. And birds, of course, are free, aren't they?
Birds are free. They had a lot of
until they need their next meal.
It's funny. They had a song called Nightingale on their debut album. Yeah. But apparently lots of nostalgia-y country music artists of the 90s and 2000s grew up way down yonder on the Chattahoochee building pyramid beer cans and listening to Eagles albums. Apparently.
There's going to be a heartache tonight.
Going to be a heartache tonight. Conway Twitty covered that. Yes, I know he did.
And Slow Hand.
Yeah, and Slow Hand. That's the Pointer Sisters. Oh, yeah, that's right. Slow Hand. First I was thinking Eric Clapton. And I was trying to make that sense in my head. You're right. That was
Conway would cover anything that would send him to the top 10.
That was salacious.
Yes, that's right.
That was a Conway
You
song.
can leave it in the parking lot, but either way,
yeah,
a heartache tonight.
I would get off on Conway Twitty.
Yeah.
But
I started a rap song that has Conway Twitty in it.
You did.
It went like this.
How did it go?
It went, big city, big titties, macking on the ladies like Conway Twitty.
Okay. Let's also say that we did see them live. We didn't see
at the Superdome.
They rock and roll. It was a very
in the dome.
Very, slightly better than average concert. Wouldn't make my top 10 of all time.
Oh no,
ever.
But I mean,
we saw the Eagles.
And, life's been good. I was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we dug it. So
Seven Bridges Road, very nice.
So
fly on, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn.